Hi, it's Tyler again. Last time we saw each other, Lexi just caught me smuggling Jules out of the house, and I was in a world of trouble. Today, I'm going to tell you about how Lexi began to force me to take her on dates, and to pay for expensive tastes. How? That's coming up next. But before that, don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and hit that notification bell icon to show your support for me. Who was that? Lexi asked, and I knew my world was about to crumble. Just a friend, I said. I'm really tired. I'm gonna go get some sleep. I bounded up the stairs before Lexi could hit me with a barrage of questions. That night, I locked my bedroom door. For weeks, I avoided the subject of Jules, and I did my best to avoid being alone with Lexi as well. The one good thing that happened on my second year of college was that the sales of my drawings and paintings began to pick up. Big time. Honestly, it was thanks to Lexi. She posted my stuff on Pinterest and marketed the heck out of my little website. Soon, I was earning way more than I ever thought I could, and I was able to pay her back for every cent I stole from her. Lexi's college fund was whole again, and I was finally able to let go of the guilt I felt for stealing from her. But the thing was, Lexi wasn't done tormenting me. Even after I paid her back for everything I did, and she was able to quit her part-time jobs because her money was back, Lexi didn't go back to her apartment close to campus. She continued subletting it and just lived at home with me. She wanted to be close to me, because of the fact that I did my best to avoid her. The only time we saw each other was at home, and Lexi was determined to spend time with me whenever she could. Perhaps the more I pushed her away, the more she wanted to be close to me. Maybe if I didn't avoid her too much, she would have just moved out like she should have. But I'll never really know. Because whatever Lexi wanted, Lexi got. Especially the things she wanted from me. My stepsister hounded me. At school, at home, even when I'm doing my drawings. "Hey Ty," she said one day, as she hugged me from behind as I was making dinner. "Now that you're making a lot of extra cash..." I asked. "Don't you think I deserve something in return? Like a gift or two?" said Lexi. She was right, of course. I still felt bad for stealing from her. And it was pretty much thanks to her that my art was selling like pancakes after all. And so I agreed. She did deserve a gift or two. The thing was, for Lexi, a gift or two was not where it ended. First, she made me dump Jules. I don't know how. It was her Jedi mind tricks. She always somehow knew how to push my buttons and get me to do what she wanted. But, yeah, the moment she found out about the true nature of my relationship with Jules, she made me cut off all contact with her. Then she took me shopping. And by that, I meant she bought me a couple of things to make me feel better about the breakup. But then, she spent the rest of our day at the mall buying a store's worth of clothes for her. I paid for all of it, of course. She called it retail therapy, but it didn't really help me. I just saw it as her going on a shopping spree on my dime. I let it slide. I love my stepsister, of course, and I'd do anything for her. She was with me 24/7, especially at school. Anytime a girl so much as looked at me, she'd go up to them and tell them to back off. "No chance, sis," she'd warn them. "Stay far, far away from my brother." And when some girls say hi to me at the parties we attended together, she immediately turned into an attack dog and would push the girls away screaming, "Get your sticky claws off of my brother!" All that behavior only fueled the dead rumors about me and her, and people started staring at us weird again at school. It got so bad that I almost thought about dropping out or transferring, but Lexi forbid it. She threatened me. She said she'd go to the police and tell them about how I stole her college fund 2 years ago. I, of course, felt guilty again, and just did what Lexi said. I grinned, and just dealt with it. On Valentine's Day, Lexi made sure I didn't go out with anyone else. She reserved a table for us at an extremely expensive restaurant with a view of the sea. Using my card, of course. With my money, she bought herself a Dior dress. She made me dress up that day, and she even hired a limo to take us to the restaurant. We ate 15 plates of tiny dishes that I couldn't even understand or appreciate. I just wanted that day to be over. But as we finished up dessert, she said, "I've got a surprise for you." What now? I thought. Will this day ever end? After paying for the bill with my card, Lexi led me out of the restaurant with her hands covering my eyes. And then she said, "Ta-da!" as she gave me back my sight. In front of me was a chopper. "What's this?" I asked in exasperation. "A chopper ride, said Lexi. "And how much is this gonna cost me?" I asked without thinking. I don't know. I was just tired of her. I was tired of Lexi taking advantage of me, and I just lost all composure. Lexi was all smiles that whole day until I said that. And when her expression changed, it truly scared me. She looked like she was about to murder someone when I asked her that question. "Not your concern," she replied. "Unless you want me to go to the cops, I can even tell them how you've been abusing me." That made my face turn white. Would she really go that far? Would she make up stuff that sick just to get what she wanted? I didn't want to find out. So again, I grinned and bore it. I took her hand and guided her into the chopper. "Good boy," said Lexi, approving of how I turned obedient again. "Now, let's go on this beautiful chopper ride, and you better act like a good boyfriend." Boyfriend? I was fine taking her on dates and buying her stuff, but now she wants me to be her boyfriend? Maybe it would have been fine if it was just between us, but she made me act like her devoted boyfriend at school, too. And it was really getting to me. People kept staring and laughing, and I couldn't do anything about it. She made me go to school events and parties as her date. She introduced me to her friends as her fiancé, and whenever she saw something she wanted in store windows, she dragged me inside to buy it for her. She wanted the latest gadgets. She wanted the most expensive dresses. And she always took Uber Blacks to school. All of it was charged to my card. Now, I was making a lot of money through my art, but the rate she was spending my earnings, I was bound to be broke by the end of the year. I don't know how it happened, but one day, I just decided enough was enough. I had more than paid her back for my earlier sins. And the fact that she demanded I do anything she asked and pay for whatever she wanted was really wearing me down. Not to mention, she's ruined every chance I had at a social life by telling everyone I was dating my own stepsister. I started by denying her access to my accounts. Whatever I could return from her recent purchases, I returned. And then, I started seeing Jules again. She forgave me after hearing the truth of my situation. She really was the nicest girl I knew. And she supported me in my decision to finally stand up to Lexi as well. The moment Lexi found out what I did, she confronted me at school. "What do you think you're doing?" she yelled at me. "You can't take advantage of me anymore, Lexi. I'm cutting you off," I said. "Cutting me off? How dare you? Do you have any idea what I can do to you? I will ruin your life," screamed Lexi. Everyone within 10 meters of us was clearly watching and listening in. Once again, she didn't fail to embarrass me at school, but I was done cowering in fear of her. Hear that, everyone? My stepsister is crazy. And, by the way, I'm not dating her. She just wants you to think that because she's a sad, lonely person who wants the attention, I announced. Lexi was stunned. And then, I pulled Jules close and kissed her in front of everyone. At that, we walked away and left Lexi to throw her tantrum. Jules later told me that she recorded the whole thing. I kept a copy of that footage, knowing it would come in handy. I changed the locks at home, and I installed security cameras. I knew she would eventually try something and break in, but I was ready. If she wanted to ruin my life, I was going to be a step ahead of her. A few nights later, Lexi did what I knew she would. She broke into the house and tripped the alarms. Of course, the cops came. I told them that she was trespassing, and as expected, she told the cops that she lived there. I told them otherwise, showing them that the house was under my name. I held the title for the property because I paid for the mortgage. And legally, she had no right to be there. I also showed the cops a recording of her threatening to ruin my life. The officers took her away. A month later, a judge granted me a restraining order against her. That was a relief. Jules moved in with me eventually, and we've been living a quiet, peaceful life without Lexi. I'm saving up for an engagement ring, and here's hoping we've seen the last of my evil, conniving stepsister.